Welcome back. Automotive Inc. here, guys. Thank you guys for always being here. If you are new to the channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button at the end of the video. Please give me a like and hit the notification bell when you want to hear about new content. So, as you guys know, if you've been following the channel, Loki was added a while back, now about 4 months ago. And so, I'm just going to talk about kind of the truck in general. Initially, my thoughts and everything like that. And if you guys want to know about towing, I will link 2 different tows where we took the Loki out to Lake McConaughey, Ogallala area, pulling 18,000 and 14.5 comparably. And in about 2 weeks, guys, we're going to put this bad boy to a real torture test, doing some heavy passes and some heavy towing. So let's take a look. So take it or leave it, guys. This is the 2024 Super Duty F-250 Tremor, and it is in Glacier Gray. It's a blue-gray color to me. Now, this being the Ultimate with the Sport package, it gave you this grille. So I've had some people ask me about this grille specifically. I prefer this one. I really like the light signature of it versus the one that has all of the bars across it. Now, you can get a Tremor Lariat Ultimate with black long bars across it. For me, this grille looks the best. You guys can sound off on that in the comment section. So I've done a handful of things to it. This one did come with the front factory fender liners. We did put the Husky fender liners in the back. Now, I have heard some people sound off about these 18-inch wheels. Again, lots of rubber for off-roading if that's what you're going to do with a truck this size. Me personally, I bought this truck because it was hard to find a 430 with the gas in it and in the color. Now, I did have tons of problems with several different trucks. I have videos on my channel for that, so you guys can go check that out. Me personally, I like these wheels, but I prefer my 24 Chevy Kong. I like the 20-inch wheels it had on it. For me, they were just kind of retro, cool. These, I like them. They're fine. They're simple. I don't like chrome, so at the end of the day, some people say they look a little small on here. Some people think they just look ugly. You guys can sound off on that. With the Sport package, we get all the blacked out crap. Tremor package, not with the Ultimate. So I got a little discount on my window sticker because this has the standard Tremor running boards, which are the Raptor running boards. A little high for shorter people and older people to get in. But so far, the bed steps and the bumper steps have been phenomenal. Haven't really used the tailgate step at all. Now, with this Tremor package, I did get the payload package, so you can see I have the overload springs. Then again, I did put Timbrins on there, and I did put the Husky liners. All of those videos are also on the channel. Now, the wonderful people out at Paragon sent me out this Ultimate XD cover to try out. It has been fantastic. I always put a tonneau on all my trucks, but me personally, this may be the best cover period on the market as far as I'm concerned, and I have a video of that install also on the channel. You walk around the back, you get LEDs pretty much everywhere except for the tail lamps. The backup lamps are LED, and then I did swap out the license plate lights with that. Got the Class 5 for 23 and 24. They finally redid the chain hooks, which is a big step up. Glad to have that. Did install the 5th wheel puck system because I have a puck system type hitch, and I have a video on the channel for that. That's going to be good for 23 and 24. So if you guys want to know how to do it, it is actually doable by the everyday Joe, so not a big deal there. Now, for me, would I buy a Tremor if I'm just going specifically to try and tow? Probably not, guys. These more aggressive tires, the wind dams, the higher ground clearance and stuff does cut into fuel economy. I would probably go for an F-350 with a 430 and just get like an FX4 if I was going to do this again, because as to be expected, the fuel economy is lower than my last Godzilla, and that has a lot to do with the gearing, the tires, and everything else like that. Now, when I bought this truck too, when I'm buying a truck, I want to have a little bit of swagger. This truck has it. I think it looks good, but of course most people hated my 24 Chevy. They said it was ugly, and I've heard a lot of people say they think this truck is ugly, which I think the previous generation Super Duty is by far the best looking Super Duty so far, unless you're going to go back into the earlier generations and stuff like that. Now, Loki is still doing some of its wonky stuff, meaning I walked up today after the gym and it unlocked itself without touching the passive entry. Not happy about that. Alarm issues and most of the other things have stopped doing it, but it is still wonky. So that's kind of interesting. Now, at the end of the day, guys, I'm going to have a video where I break down the things where Ford did not do good on this truck or could have done better. It's going to be a nitpicking video because all in all, these trucks keep getting better. They are listening to the consumer, and they are, all in all, better than they used to be and have way more capacity. Now, I went with the Baja interior on this one. I wanted that. I don't want too much black. I think it looks good. You guys can sound off on what you think of that. Ford is the king of storage in the cab. It gives me a hidey hole for pretty much everything that I want. More cubbies than a man or a woman could ever need. More than enough charge ports than you would ever need. And it's a really nice truck. I've yet to have one person sit in any of the seating positions in this truck and complain about the seats. They say they're very comfortable. And we're able to put lots of people in here and gear in the truck. Nice truck bed, nice truck sizes, plenty of cup holders, and again, tons of storage for everybody, including underneath the seat. If you're wondering where I did that, I have an install video on the door sill plates. Now let's get in. A point of contention with me, guys, is these digital gauges. I am slowly getting used to them, but me preferably, I like a little bit of analog, a little bit of digital, or they can be all analog. I'm okay with that. Just like Kong had a very simple, very simple LCD screen, but you could click it and change it to the desired things that you want to see, so I did enjoy that. And then I do love the Sync 4 and the 12-inch screen. Again, with the battery issues I had initially with the truck, when the screen doesn't work, that does suck. However, all in all, the Sync 4 is very user-friendly for people like me. I'm not a huge tech guru. I like simplicity. I don't like overcomplication, and this does that just great. I also like the fact that we still have a lot of redundant controls. And in this truck, I don't think I have any piano black. I don't mind it, but a lot of people hate it. But this trim level does not have any of that. Now, other than that, the B&O, this is the Unleashed system. It is a phenomenal stereo system. So if you are a stereo fanatic, then you will love this. One thing I do love about this truck is my heads-up display. You can't see it, just the way the video plays out, but you can see, oh, there you go. Maybe you can see it off in the distance. I really do love that, guys. If you can kind of see it, this is the first opportunity I've actually been able to do it. What I really like is when I change to the drive modes, the way it changes, you'll see up there, it kind of brings up, and if I had it in gear, it would show you what gear. Maybe I can pop this up. So yeah, so now you can see that it's popped up with D1, and so you can see that. Do love that. I think that's a phenomenal thing. And then if we look down in the gauges here in a minute, I'll show you what that looks like. If we go over here, if you're an off-roader, then it'll change the actual HUD up there where you can get pitch and roll. I think that that is super great. Love that a lot. So I just like it. And then you can tailor this. You can drive in normal mode, but tailor your HUD to that if that's what you prefer. I do like how you come down here, and if you're an off-road enthusiast, you can kind of change all of this stuff. You get all of your longitude and latitude and everything. Now if we go over here to tow haul mode, you can see down at the bottom how it's changing all of those modes. It'll bring up this type of drive scenario, and then the truck remembers each trailer, so I like that. But you can also tailor this area for the information that you really want. You can minimalize some of these without putting numbers behind them, but to me, I don't really know what the high and the low range is, so I like having the actual numeric there. But they do give you the option to change that. Now, when it comes to overall drivability, this is a big truck. It doesn't let you forget that it is basically a heavy duty 3/4 ton, almost a 1 ton if you get the payload package. And you know, at the end of the day, I do like the way it rides. It rides pretty good. Now, I still think that the Chevy GMC trucks do ride better. This is bouncy, but taking in mind this is the Tremor package, so my FX4 on the 22 did ride a little bit bouncy too, but has nothing to do with the timbrins. But overall drivability is actually really good. Again, fuel economy, we've talked about this. Somebody's gonna say it, that you don't buy a big truck for fuel economy. That is correct. However, if you can get better fuel economy than not, that is always a plus, especially when you're towing. Now, when I was towing, I got about 7.2 8.2 on the 14,000 pound trailer, 14.5, and on the 18K I actually got 8.2. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see on the torture test here in a few weeks how the fuel economy does again, because that is going to be a lot of hills and a lot of mountains. So we'll be able to put it to that, because some people said, well, you got to take it up the mountain. We will always do that. Overall drivability, I like. It does have a little bit more engine noise or exhaust note than, say, the Chevy L8T Kong. You just never really heard anything. It was a super quiet cabin. You know, and it wasn't necessarily perfect, but it was a dang good truck. And so I do miss that truck. Now, a lot of people, including other channels, have said that the L8T and the Chevy with the Allison is a freaking dog. That is not the case. Keeping in mind, these gassers have their limitations. I mean, the diesels will always outpull. They're always going to out-rip down the road. And they probably will inevitably return a little bit better fuel economy, depending on your driving habits. So at the end of the day, no, the L8T was spectacular, especially after my 22 Godzilla blew up. The Kong had to basically take over and run the rest of the summer, and it did great. The truck is still doing great, zero problems other than the USB port that I fried after I hit a bump and threw Monster all over the USB ports. It's had zero issues, standard maintenance, zero oil burn. So now a lot of people will say that you know, this truck, the variable displacement oil pump is a big problem and that you can't idle it. Well, that was kind of Ford's whole intent on this, because it's hard to idle a diesel anymore without having to cause more regens and whatnot. So I'm still going to idle this truck. Whether it's its demise, I don't know. The variable displacement oil pump is in tons of vehicles all over, so I don't think that that's it. I think they had a bad run of lifters and cams and stuff like that. There was a metallurgy, however you say that word, I guess, issue. I think that's really kind of what was going on with that. I think they've kind of rectified it for 2024, and I hope that we don't experience this problem, because I'm going to run this truck for a year and see what happens, and see if I like it, and give you guys constant updates. But as of right now, we've had a lot of problems with the battery issues. There was a parasitic draw through the body control module that was causing the battery to draw under 50%. Before I even bought the thing, it had the issue. They said they swapped the battery, etc. and so forth. I have those videos on the channel, so if you want to dive deeper into how that all played out. Now, eventually they did swap the battery, and I haven't had a lot of issues, but I also don't drive the truck daily. So this week it sat for about a week, and it was doing some wonky stuff. So there may still be a draw on it. I don't know. But overall, guys, again, when you're looking at these big HD trucks, right now I still rank the 24 Chevy Gasser with the Allison #1. That one did excellent when it came to grade braking and everything. It pulled just fine, even though it's not the most powerful of the bunch. Ford is right now at second, unless it outshines Kong. But that's why we're doing a long-term test. This isn't just borrow it from somebody, hook a trailer, run it up the Eisenhower Tunnel, and say, well, it went up in 7 seconds, so that's good. Come on, man. We really got to work it and then see long-term what it is so people could do it. And last but not least, the Hemi. That's going to come in #3 for me. I blew up a couple of those that one summer, just pulling light generators at work. They rent Hemis, so these trucks were probably worked hard because they're rentals. And at 40,000 and 22,000, both of those basically quit and had to go back. One needed a new motor, and I don't remember what they said the other problem with the other one was, but at the end of the day, Ram still doesn't have the payload or the towing capacity with the Hemi to really even get where Chevy and Ford currently are at. So when you're thinking about buying one of these gassers, I hope that this content kind of puts information into your arena where you can sit down, break down what you don't like, your needs, one thing that you might not have thought of. We're really trying to give you a great set of things that you can look at going into the picture and help you make the best decision or be part of that decision. So those are my initial thoughts, guys. Again, it hasn't been a perfect run so far, but it did do really well towing. Did it do better than the L8T because it had more horsepower and everything like that? No. Kong had more trailer tow capacity than this one did by a smidge. And I would say this did good. It did really good. Better? No. Did Kong outshine the other one? Well, I haven't ran through the mountain yet, so I can't really say that. But that's going to be whichever one you decide you like better, I guess, at that point. If I was buying again today, would I buy this truck? No. I would probably go back and get another Chevy. I like the look. I like the Allison. I like the LAT. Fuel economy in the LAT wasn't as good as the 22 Super Duty, but that one also had a 355 and Kong had a 373. So this one has a 430, so again, in all the tires, so that's why it doesn't do quite as well. But at the end of the day, I am happy with the truck now, and I'm excited to see how it does on the torture test here in 2 weeks. In the meantime, guys, we will be breaking down every little nuance to this so you can determine if this certain package or this feature is important to you, because there is some really cool stuff in this truck. I love the trailering tech. We'll break all that down. So do make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I appreciate you guys always being here. And again, I appreciate the gentleman out east who named Loki, because this is the truck of mischief. Later, dudes.